and we are on air. How are you this beautiful Thursday morning? It is the 20th day of March, and we as a Good Morning Kenya team are ready to ensure that we get to do what we always do. We inform you as well as entertain you. And today being a Thursday, it is Entertainment Thursday, so it is all about that entertainment. We will be having poets in the house as we begin early with the celebrations of World Poetry Day, which will be commemorated tomorrow. So we'll be having poets who will be talking about the evolution of poetry in Kenya over the years. You definitely want to stay tuned for that conversation. Of course, my DJ is here, Unique the DJ. Good morning, and what do you have prepared for us today?
Good morning, Vivian.
Good morning.
Yeah, mimi niko fiti. Mambo iko walala. It's on Thursday na unajuanga tu anytime unaniona on your screen, unajua tu na ni vibes. Vibes on vibes. Yeah. So today I have a list of new songs. Of course lazima niwapeleke na mtaratara the way songs, new songs, wasanii wanatoa songs huko nje. So hakuna wa kufanana nawe, Ogao the top and wapendwa muziki. These guys they're really doing an amazing job. Kuna Boss Emoji pia, they've collaborated with Ekodida na Guardian Angel. They have a new song. Godi Tena have a new song. Harmonize all the way from TZ, he has a new song. Na kuna pia Bien na Ramo.
Yeah.
Ramo, that song is a very beautiful song. So you just have to go and listen to it anytime. So, but at tukiendelea na show, I'll be sampling those songs, new songs tukiendelea na show. So stick it on the screen.
All right. Yes. We also have Mike with us today. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Vivian and DJ and the team, and welcome to Good Morning Kenya. This is Entertainment Thursday, and today I want us to take a different route kidogo before we get into the entertainment part. We look at how Kenya is leveraging big sports event, because it has recent years it has become a high-profile sporting destination, and also, so how are we leveraging that to boost tourism? I'll be speaking to PS Honorable John Ololtua, who is PS for Tourism. He'll be joining me here in studio in just a short while to just shed light on that. So stick around for that. DJ, I have a question.
Yeah.
Kubant ndio kufanya nini?
Kuna kitu umebant nini?
No, nauliza nimeona that particular has been trending. Kubant ndio kufanya.
Yeah, it's a term that is trending.
Yeah, kuchoma. Umebana bro.
Kwanza wewe tu already kuuliza already umeshaban.
Good morning.
Good morning to you team. Well, when I hear Kubant, I remember, that reminds me how well in my years I am when it comes to that, because those were terms that we used to use while we were out in the playground way back. Way back. So now to find that it's coming back,
I don't think
in terms
it's
of
that
slang,
far back, Regina.
It depends on when you were playing. It depends on when you were out in the playground.
Yeah. Kubant was also a time when I was growing up when we were playing.
Oh, well, then I think it has survived the test of time.
Yeah.
But now it totally means something
Different.
Yes, and I'll wait to hear. I've seen it in a few memes here and there. But yes, watch out to see Bant. And talking about Entertainment Thursday, it's going to be quite the entertaining weekend, especially for those who enjoy a bit of, adrenaline. What am I talking about? Talking about the WRC. The flag off is today, and KBC Channel 1 is going to be on ground, to just bring you up to speed with who is doing what at what time. So if you had no plans for the weekend, make this your plan. Naivasha, here we come. Some of the tidbits, what I know is that this time round, a few things that you need to carry when you're going for the WRC. A portable seat will come in handy. You'll also need a pair of sunglasses. Whether it rains or not, it's good to look good and chic when you're out there for the rally. Secondly, you'll need comfortable shoes. Do not take your heels or, your official loafers or such. I don't know what dudes wear, but I know ladies avoid them heels. So try to have some Skechers or some Converses there. Basically, be comfortable and get entertained. The season is here. Let's look at who's going to carry the day at the end of the day. We'll be giving you updates with the flag off. We have a team, as I mentioned there, that is going to be keeping track of that particular rally. As we said, we grew up in the 70s and the 80s, and the term was wakati wa safo. I don't know if you still use that same particular term. That's why I'm saying, Vivian, it totally, entirely depends on when you were on the playground.
What time exactly?
Yes.
I don't think we said wakati wa safo.
Yes, wa safo. Back then, we had icons like Patrick Njiro.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when I say back then, it is that back then.
Yeah.
Now let's bring you up to speed with stories that have been making headlines in the last 12 hours, and we'll start off with the national ID update, where the government has formally scrapped the 300 shillings fee for new national ID cards following President William Ruto's directive. Now speaking during the launch of the mobile registration drive for the issuance of national identity cards in Shahab, Nakuru West Sub-County, Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen further scrapped the 500 shillings charged for the verification of birth certificates. Joseph Wahungu was in Nakuru and filed the following report.
Hundreds of residents of Shabab in Nakuru West Sub-County on Wednesday became the first beneficiaries of the government's quest to make national identity cards accessible through the launch of a mobile registration drive for the issuance of national identity cards.
This is my first time to take the ID. Yeah, and I'm happy because the process here is so fast. And I'm happy because we were told it will come out. We shall wait for it for 10 days.
It didn't took even 20 minutes. Yeah, the process was so swift. Within 20 minutes, all the registration, the process has been done.
The exercise, which was presided over by the Interior and National Administration Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen, will be replicated countrywide following the President's directive to have all Kenyans access the document free of charge.
Yesterday, I issued a Gazette notice, amending the Gazette notice number 15495/2023, reviewing the charges of registration of persons. This is a crucial step in ensuring that every Kenyan has access to essential services.
CS Murkomen further defended President Ruto's order that all those seeking IDs should not be subjected to any vetting.
I am pleased to announce that the vetting has been discontinued, as it was a practice that unfairly impacted on many communities.
Kwa hivyo si ati watu wenye wako katika mipaka yetu tunawapatia kitambulisho bila kuangalia kama wao ni wa Kenya ama sio wa Kenya. Tumeweka mikakati iliyotosha.
Meanwhile, CS Murkomen has vowed to unravel the mystery surrounding the disappearance of 31-year-old Nakuru-based fisherman Brian Odhiambo. Further, the CS directed security officers in Nakuru County to firmly crack down on all illegal gangs terrorizing residents in the county.
Tutafanya lolote liwezekanalo to hold those officers wa KWS ambao walishika kijana yako. We will hold them into account mpaka watuambie Brian ako wapi, kwa sababu sisi hatuwezi kubali namna hiyo.
With mobile registration exercise now officially underway, the government is urging eligible Kenyans to come out to be registered so that they can be able to benefit from important government services offered across the country. Reporting for KBC Channel 1 News from Shabab, Nakuru County, my name is Joseph Wahungu.
Well, that particular directive and move by the government continues to elicit quite the debate there, with several critics coming out to question why now, taking us back to when this particular charges were effected and proposed. There was a lot of public outcry against them. Now it seems that the government has changed tact in this and will be keeping tabs on the discourse from this particular move. Now, to a story of hope, aired first here on KBC last week on Sunday. Now, Keziah Nyambura, whose medical condition indeed was highlighted by us, KBC Channel 1, has finally been admitted at the Kenyatta National Hospital for treatment. According to Nyambura, the attending doctor indicated that her condition was critical and required immediate medical attention to first drain fluid from her abdomen before proceeding for further treatment. Nyambura got overwhelming financial support from you, our viewers, enabling her to pay for the much-needed procedure. Our reporter, Marie Yambo, has more from Kenyatta National Hospital.
On Sunday, KBC Channel 1 highlighted Keziah Nyambura's 5-year struggle with an abnormal swelling in her abdomen. Due to financial constraints, Keziah had been unable to access the medical care she needed. However, on Wednesday, thanks to the generous donations from well-wishers, Keziah received just over 100,000 shillings that enabled her make the 250-kilometer journey from Nyandarua to the Kenyatta National Hospital.
Wakati watu wa KBC walinionyeshana kwa news, walinipeana namba yangu na nimefurahi sana, nikaambia mtu mwenye amenitumia kitu Mungu ambariki. Ndio niliweza kufika Kenyatta saa hii, na kwa saa hii tunaongea niko na 148.
Keziah Nyambura is lucky to have arrived at the Kenyatta National Hospital thanks to the donations from our viewers. The doctor has certified her case as urgent, and currently she's been referred to the casualty area where fluid will be drained from her stomach. Preliminary observations by the attending doctor have revealed that she's suffering from ascites, a condition where fluid accumulates in spaces within the abdomen, causing the belly to swell.
Nimeona daktari na daktari akaniambia nitaadmitiwa ndio niweze kuangaliliwa hii shida yangu nikiwa kwa ward.
Keziah, who still requires further medical tests to determine the underlying cause of her condition, is appealing for additional financial assistance.
Sijajua gharama yenye nitaambiwa, kwa hivyo hata kama mtu ataniona, naomba tu kenye kidogo uko nayo unisaidie. Juu hata niko na watoto nyumbani na wako na mamangu na ni mama mzee.
To help her undergo the necessary tests, you can send your donations to her mother's number, Mary Masharia, 0795132337. That is 0795132337.
Once again, we appeal to you generously, and also thanking each and every person who came through for Nyambura there. We really are grateful on behalf of her family, but her journey has just started. So should you need further details and how you can support her, you can visit our website, that is www.kbc.co.ke, for further details on her story and her progress. My colleague Marie Yambo is going to be following the procedure and will be bringing us up to speed. For contributions to go directly to medical care for Mary Masharia, the number is 0795132337. 0795132337. Thank you very much. As they say, an open hand is ready to give as well as receive. Generosity is one of those fruits of the Holy Spirit. So we are grateful on behalf of her and her family. We cross over to politics. Kiharu Member of Parliament, Didi Nyoro, has maintained that he will not be swayed by negative politics or succumb to non-development agenda. Speaking during the launch of a new administration office in Kiharu, the former Budget and Appropriations Committee chairman reiterated his commitment to deliver tangible projects to his constituents. He said he will not be distracted by politics. The area's administration officers gave the event a wide berth.
A day after he addressed the nation following his removal as the chairperson of the National Assembly Budget and Appropriations Committee, Kiharu Member of Parliament found himself in quite a desperate situation after some expected guests, the area's administration body, for unknown reasons failed to turn up for the launch of the newly constructed administration offices in his constituency. Unlike his previous development meetings, which were flowered by the presence of chiefs and other administration officers, today the situation was different, as only members of the public were solely present to welcome him.
Na ofisi hii tumekuja kupatia ya administration. Lakini kila mmoja wetu hapa awezaona. Tukiangalia hapa mbele kuna administrator hata mmoja.
Kwa hivyo tumelaani hiyo kitendo ya kupiga simu wenye tunafungulia hii nyumba imejengwa na pesa za serikali. Na ni muhimu sana wangefika ndio at least watupokee funguo.
The Kiharu Member of Parliament, unfazed by the absence, maintained he will not succumb to negative politics.
Mimi nitaendelea kuheshimu kila mtu, na heshimu kila mtu. Na mimi sina shida na mtu afanye kazi yake, mimi nafanya yangu, yule mwingine yake, kwa sababu wananchi ndio tunatumikia.
Wamlinde, wakose kumlinda, sisi tuko na yeye.
Ndende, now serving in his second term as Kiharu Member of Parliament, was among the casualties of the National Assembly leadership shake-up after he ousted as the Budget and Appropriations Committee chairman with accusations of allocating more funding to his constituency in skewed ways.
This House will not sit back and allow members who sit in the Budget and Appropriations Committee to use the position they hold in that committee to appropriate money to only their constituencies at the expense of other Kenyans.
Mimi nikiwa mbunge wa Kiharu, mimi nitaendelea kuheshimu watu. Lakini isikuja siku moja mtu aone heshima anapewa afikirie watu wako na uoga.
A day in politics is quite a long time. Now to security, the government has defended the deployment of Kenya Defence Forces during the June 2024 Gen Z protests, insisting the move was lawful and necessary to restore order. Defence Cabinet Secretary Soipan Tuya, who appeared before the Senate, maintained that KDF acted within the provisions of Article 238 of the Constitution and the KDF Act, which mandates strict adherence to the rule of law in matters of national security.
The government is standing firm on its decision to deploy the Kenya Defence Forces during the June 2024 Gen Z protest, dismissing claims that the move was unconstitutional.
Participation in internal security operations. These are carefully guided by the Constitution and the KDF Act, which specify notifications through gazette notice, authorization to be sought prior to the deployment, and the mandatory reports to be furnished to the National Assembly, and of course, close collaboration and cooperation with the necessary security institutions.
Battalion was deployed to deal with the cases on the streets in July. I think, Mr. Speaker, that question was the issue of gazette notice. It's either just to say the gazette notice has been lifted or it is still in force.
Defence Cabinet Secretary Soipan Tuya, who appeared before the Senate, argued that deployment was in compliance with Article 238 of the Constitution.
On the question on whether the deployment has been revoked, no, the deployment has not been revoked. There is a matter actively in court, but I would also want us to again remember that the deployment of June 25th is in support of the National Police Service.
The presence of the military personnel in the streets during the protest drew sharp reactions from the civil society and a section of political leaders, with many questioning whether the move signaled increase in militarization of civilian affairs.
What self-propelling mechanism has the National Security Council put in place to ensure that once they are deployed, they do not roll into taking over government?
We have the highest respect for our defense forces as a nation, and the discipline and the respect, we admire them. But what we wanted to know, in fact, the question is not on their primary duties, which is the territorial protection of this nation. The question always arises on their secondary duties, which is, getting into civilian mix.
According to the CS, all military interventions do undergo strict scrutiny by the National Security Council to ensure they are neither arbitrary nor exceed their intended scope.
of course, of keen interest is the deployment of June 25th, which again falls under Article 2413B, where KDF was deployed to offer support to the National Police Service to deal with the unrest that the country went through at that point.
These are senators' call for similar deployments in areas facing hate and insecurity. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Defense has launched investigations into reports of armed invasions in Kiunga, Lamu County.
On 13th of March 2025, a heavily armed militia, believed to be Al-Shabaab, invaded a village in Mangai in Kiunga, a village in Mangai in Basuba ward in Lamu County, and that they were in pursuit of an area chief and NPR, who helps in maintaining law and order in that area.
Additionally, CS Tuya told senators the government is cracking down on fraudsters, posing as senior military officers and defrauding Kenyans during KDF recruitments.
Well, that maybe is just to bring your attention is that there is a proposal of to have some amendments to the Computer Misuse and Cybercrimes Act of 2018 that was sponsored by private members, bill proposed by Aidan Daudi Mohammed. It seeks to introduce several clauses, including defining the terms such as access, asset, identity theft, and virtual accounts. This has caused quite a stir, especially Clause 3, that seeks to amend Section 6 of the Computer Misuse and Cybercrime, the NC for websites and applications. It proved that a website or application promotes illegal activities, child pornography, terrorism, extreme religious and cultic practices, issue a directive to render the website or application inaccessible. I'm bringing this up because this was part of some of the discourse that was happening on the floor of the House yesterday, just looking at what platforms were actually used during this Gen Z protest and what instituted the government to take such a move in deploying KDF. You can follow the full details on our website. It is www.kbc.co.ke. Now, family, friends, and colleagues, as well as section of political leaders, bid farewell to Constable Samuel Tompoi, 31, who died while serving in Haiti. Tompoi, who died in the line of duty, was honored for his dedication and sacrifice.
A somber mood engulfed Naserian village in Kajiado East Sub-County during the burial ceremony of the late police constable Samuel Tompoi. Family members to the fallen soldier eulogized him as a beacon of hope.
1 round 5. Check safe, close safe.
Tompoi lost his life on February 23, 2025 during a gang attack in Port-au-Prince. His commitment to duty and service resonated deeply with those who gathered to pay their final respects. A section of the political class attending his funeral, led by Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka and DAP Kenya leader Eugene Wamalwa, queried the legality of deploying Kenyan police to Haiti.
Our officers will be exposed if they are underfunded, if they are under-equipped. So this is what we'd like to say today, that if this uncertainty prevails, then we must consider as a nation disengagement, unless the UN takes over this mission.
Indeed, just checking some of the feedback in regard to that. That's a story that is still eliciting considerable amount of reactions, especially on social media platforms, including X. What do you think about the utterances of Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka in regard to matters Haiti, as well as the safety of our servicemen out there? You can get us on X at KBC Channel 1. Crossing over to business, will the capital injection by Ruby Energy Kenya save the fortunes of the National Oil Corporation of Kenya? That is a question as attention shifts to cleaning the company's loan book and turn around it in the market. Now, yesterday the government announced that Ruby Energy has entered into a 6 billion shillings non-equity partnership with the state-owned oil and gas company. NOC Managing Director Lepran Ole Morintat said the oil and gas business is a capital-intensive, requires substantial investment and operational flexibility to stay competitive.
Government documents indicate that as of 2024, NOC has been grappling with the rise in debt owed to banks and other creditors, which are currently valued at 7.9 billion shillings. To eliminate these legacy debts and to find a path to corporate profitability, the state agency has sought a new direction.
And so to us, a rebranded, refreshed, much better looking and appealing retail stations for the National Oil Corporation, coupled with increased volumes, with increased profitability.
The partnership is a component of NOC's broader turnaround strategy, which aims to scale up its downstream operations and strengthen its position in the petroleum products trading and marketing space. This entails ensuring security of petroleum supply, stabilizing of fuel prices, and reduction of the cost of living and doing business in Kenya.
And so with Rubis coming in with working capital and financing capital expenditure, it means that we are going to rebound back to profitability, our volumes.
As a non-equity strategic partner, Rubis Energy Kenya will provide financial support, working capital financing, market development initiatives, and capital expenditure capex financing for rebranding, rehabilitation, and expansion of NOC's retail network. The partnership also encompasses the development of a new enterprise resource planning system to improve business processes and customer experience, and collaboration in the fuel card business to enhance customer engagement and service delivery.
Now to the showpiece of the weekend. We're talking about the 2025 WRC Safari Rally. Kenya will be flagged off this morning in Nairobi, and it's a lead up to the two stages at Kasarani and Mzabibu in Naivasha. Now the main event starts on Friday with more than 380 kilometers set to be covered in this year's rally.
After completion of the first two legs in the 2025 WRC calendar in Monte Carlo in January and Sweden in February, the Safari Rally Kenya, the third leg of the 14-leg series, will be flagged off on Thursday in Nairobi. Drivers will then head to Kasarani for the 4.76-kilometer super special stage before heading to Naivasha to tackle the 8.15-kilometer special stage in Mzabibu. On Friday morning, the Safari Rally Kenya begins with 32.20-kilometer Camp Moran stage and then heads to 19.11-kilometer Loldia 1 stage.
I think this is going to be a very successful Safari Rally this time round, and I want to urge all Kenyans to turn up in large numbers, but more importantly, we have also supported our female drivers, so we'll be looking out for our female drivers who are a real role model, you know, for other Kenyans to also join the motorsport.
The third stage on Friday will be geothermal of 13.12 kilometers and end the morning session with a 15.10-kilometer Kedong stage. Friday afternoon session begins with the second Camp Moran stage, then to Loldia to geothermal and finally Kedong. The 26.88-kilometer Sleeping Warrior will be the first stage on Saturday morning before drivers head to the 17.31 kilometers Element Taita and finally the 29.32 Soisambu stages for the morning sessions before the three stages are tackled again in the afternoon.
Motorsport is becoming one of the key areas of talent in our country, and going forward we will see how we put in resources to develop motorsport as a talent for our young people and other drivers who would wish to participate in the rally.
On the final day of the Safari Rally Kenya, drivers will begin the day at the 18.33 Oserengoni stage and Hell's Gate before going to Mzabibu for the second time. The final two stages will be at Oserengoni and Hell's Gate, leading to the awards ceremony, where the 2025 WRC Safari Rally Kenya champion will be crowned. After Safari Rally Kenya, action moves to Spain for the Rally Islas Canarias on the 24th to 27th of April, and then Rally de Portugal on 15th to 18th of May. The season ends at Rally Saudi Arabia, which is the 14th leg, set for 27th to 30th of November 2025.
Well, if you did not have the weekend planned now, WRC is already in town. Officially, the the ceremony is going to start at 9. That is, you're going to be seeing and hearing a lot of activity as those particular automobiles make it to the Central Business District. The area earmarked, or rather set aside for this, is around City Hall, KICC area. The official flag off is at 11 a.m., but as from 9 a.m., you're bound to see quite the activity within the Central Business District. Given that the Central Business District hosts over 85% of the workforce that makes its way into Nairobi City every morning, well, you're bound to get into some serious traffic today as we flag off the WRC Safari Rally that starts officially tomorrow. Over 300 kilometers to be covered in this particular sports showpiece. And talking about sports and the correlation to the economy is that this morning in not too long we're going to be hosting none other than Principal Secretary Tourism, that is John Olultua, who is going to tell us how Kenya is keen on leveraging on this global sports showpiece to make Kenya more attractive, as well as we focus on the tourism diversification portfolio and looking at sports tourism. I'm Regina Manyara. I live in the capable hands of Mike as well as Vivian. This is Entertainment Thursday.
Are you a talented artist? Or are you passionate about a topic you want to discuss? But money can be very hard to find for an upcoming artist. Don't worry, Studio Mashinani has got your back. Sign up on ajira.co.ke to book a session with your music and video producers across the country. Work on your music, jingles, spoken words, and even podcasts to realize your dream. All for free. Studio Mashinani, Radani Talent.
Bwana Mtume rehma na amani ziwe juu yake, akizidisha juhudi katika ibada katika hii kumi hili la mwisho katika mwezi wa mtukufu wa Ramadhan. Ishhada nabii fauka ma kana yashtahidu fi ghayriha, alikuwa akizidisha juhudi ambazo alikuwa hazifanyi katika miezi mingine.
Moja katika faida ambazo Waislamu wanaweza pata katika kumi la mwisho la mwezi wa Ramadhan ni kupatikaniwa na usiku wa Lailatul.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. For your loving, na kuna vile nina hope ita turn to something. Baby boy, don't you know this? Hakuna haja ya kurush na it turn to nothing. Baby boy, umenimada, nimechizi nimekuwa kama fala. Tangu nikucheki niko rada, nikiwa nawe baby busi wezi kwaya. hata siwezi count to feed, yeah. Nimekuwa mgonjwa just got a disease, unanipunguze hasira zile za mkisi, yeah. Hold me down, tell me you gon' be right. Niwe nataka tu, niwe nawe tu. Higher, higher, niwe kupiga luku fire. Usijui vile unanifanya, si lazima hawashike bada. Higher, higher, mimi nitasema bila higher. You're the one for me bila shaka. I just wanna be your lover.
I know you're afraid to love again. To hide what I see, to open your heart to somebody. But when it comes to love, we are young. Don't know how you make it easy. Now many penalty tire. Kumona kuwa mami si rahisi. Oh, Olivia, me igala kujina. Urembo na hekima. What would I do without you? I never doubt your loyalty. Won't we read your honesty? Honesty, I can't put a price on it. I would have already given up. Yeah, cause I had my forecast all wrong. You made me believe in what I knew, but it got for so long. Olivia, Igala Kutina, Urembo na hekima. What would I do without you? I never doubt your loyalty. Won't be with honesty, honesty. I can't put a price on.
Thank you for tuning in. You're watching Good Morning Kenya. My name is Mike Migu. Before we get into the entertainment segment, because the DJ is doing something, we talk matters tourism and how Kenya is leveraging the big sporting events that have been happening within the country in the recent years. We are talking about Magical Kenya Open, Kipkeino Classics, and now the WRC Safari Rally, which is happening this week in Naivasha. And joining me in studio is John Olol Tua, who is the PS Tourism. Welcome to Good Morning Kenya.
Thank you very much, Mike.
Yes.
As you have said, my name is Olol Tua John,
yes.
PS for Tourism. I want to take this opportunity to appreciate KBC for giving me this opportunity to be able to talk about the role of sports and particularly the World Rally Championships.
Yes.
In promoting tourism in the country, and therefore I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Indeed. Let's get into it. Now, of course, the last few years, Kenya has hosted mega sporting events and international sports.
Yes.
So how does tourism seek to take advantage of these events to build on tourist arrivals?
Thank you very much. That's a very, very important question. Let me first of all indicate that Kenya is indeed a blessed country in terms of the touristic products that we have or the rich heritage that we have that we can showcase. So we are not short of really what to showcase, right from our safari, you know, our famous safari, where we have very many national parks and game reserves and with animals, our beaches and our landscapes and so on. And we are leveraging on sports to promote tourism in very many ways. First and foremost, the sports events gives us an opportunity to be able to market the country, to communicate what we have, because the audience that comes for sports is a big audience. And therefore, by them coming to the country, first of all, they will be communicating that Kenya is a country that has many places to visit. That's number one. Secondly, when we have people coming to enjoy these sporting activities like the World Rally Championships, a number of them then take that opportunity to engage in excursions. Actually, you'll find a number of them visiting Mombasa, visiting other touristic areas, and therefore, by visiting those particular areas, it gives us an opportunity. It gives them an opportunity to see what is there, and we will end up having repeat visitors who will come after even the sporting events have been done. Sporting events also is a very good opportunity for branding, branding and visibility, where we are able to partner with the Ministry of Sports to be able to showcase what we have. And therefore, this particular opportunity of sports gives us a lot of opportunity to really showcase what we have, to brand the country, and to be able to really engage the people who come to this particular country. I'm sure you might have noticed that the Kenya Tourism Board was able to partner with the sports, even to brand the buses that were carrying our visitors from Uganda and many other countries around. And that's part of really communicating what we have. And of course, our hotels also get an opportunity, not just to be fully booked and get business, but they also get an opportunity for these visitors to test what they have and to know that those hotels are there. And obviously next time it will give them an opportunity to be able to come back to the country. And therefore, this sporting activity will eventually give us an opportunity to increase the number of tourists that come to our country. Because as you know, when we talk about tourists, it's not just those who are coming for adventure. Actually, we have business tourists, those people who come for business. We have medical tourists, those who come for medical treatment. We also have those who come for training, right? Maybe for educational purposes. There are those who come for religious purposes, and they also form that part and parcel of the tourists. There are those who come for research, right? Those who want to come and research and so on, and they're part on. But there are also those that now come for sports. And that's why when we have these sporting activities like the World Rally Championships, the Magical Kenya Open, the Keziah Classics, our marathons, because we have the Lewa marathons and others which normally attract people all over. Of course, our marathons. Kenya is a well-known country for marathon. And therefore, this is a very good opportunity that really, when our visitors come, because we have very many countries participating in such kind of championships, that explains that it gives a very good opportunity, really, to showcase what probably would have been very difficult to showcase.
Now, yes. Does it also speak to the level of confidence in Kenya as a high-profile tourism destination and also a high-profile sporting destination?
Oh, Mike, you are very right. First of all, the fact that Kenya is able to host these events, first of all, proves on its organizational capability. I mean, it explains a lot. Not very many countries, for example, can host very big events. So first of all, it gives an opportunity to show that Kenya is ready. It's able, it's capable, it has the organizational ability and the infrastructure to be able to host these sporting events. Secondly, it gives confidence that this is a peaceful country. This is a country that when you come, you are safe, you enjoy, and it gives that confidence that it's a country of hospitable people. Because you see, even if you have the infrastructure, you have the security, you have the peace, but even the hospitality itself, the warm welcome by our cultural dancers, the warm welcome by the Kenyan people, who by very high standards to say, actually just to say, are really very recognized for their warmth. Yeah, so it gives that particular confidence and that Kenya is the place to go. Mm-hmm. And by the way, if you have that confidence through the sporting events, then you will attract investors also, confidence in investment, confidence in leisure, coming to enjoy and to be able to see what the country has. And therefore, it's, as you have said,
yes,
sports speaks a lot about the confidence of this particular destination. Mm-hmm. And that's why we will keep on, as Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife. And by the way, let me convey the greetings of my my Honorable Minister, yes, Mheshimiwa Rebecca Miano,
well
who actually has really done a lot in trying to ensure that the vision that we have been given by the torchbearer, His Excellency the President, yes, to be able to transform this country into a globally competitive tourist destination, and to ensure that we build the products, we identify, we map the products, we build them, and we market them, and it's done. And therefore, just yesterday she told me to really send the greetings, yes, and of course to welcome the world to come to the World Rally Championships, yes, yes, and to use that opportunity to learn more about Kenya and to visit our beautiful touristic
greetings.
site.
Greetings well received.
Thank
and
you.
Once you see her, pass our regards.
Thank you, I will.
Now, lately, the Ministry of Tourism has focused on sports in its marketing strategy. Maybe you could tell us the idea behind it, and how you're leveraging now events like WRC to boost tourism.
Thank you very much. Maybe before even I say how we have leveraged, I think there are some three key points I wanted to mention which I left out. Mm-hmm. First of all, these sporting activities create business. Actually, if you go to Naivasha and its environment, all the way to Nakuru, and even to Maimayu and all other areas, actually all the hotels are fully booked. And I think even up to Nairobi here. Mm-hmm. So the sporting events create an opportunity for business. And when you create opportunity for business, you also create even temporary employment. A number of these, a number of youths are currently being engaged just because of the World Rally Championships or the Safari Rally. And anytime we have a big event, you'll have a number of young people under temporary employment. But above all, when we continue having these sporting events, like Chan, for example, will be co-hosting as the East African community and so on. When we have a number of these sporting events, there is a likelihood of business growth and by extension establishment of new hotels and hospitality facilities. Yeah. That and by the way, it also affects the entire spectrum. It affects the transport sector, right? The boda guys, yeah, the boda guys, the taxi guys and the matatu guys and all those people, they'll also get an opportunity. Our Mama Mboga and the others, I think they can also I believe in that area of Naivasha, yes, they must also be getting an opportunity to sell some fruits and some nice things about that they can be able to do. But coming back to your question, we are partnering. First of all, we work, the government works as one. And for tourism, first of all, we engage, we work very closely with almost every state department. Let me begin with sports. With sports, we work with them. First of all, we have joined committees, planning committees whenever there are activities, so that we be able to work together. Secondly, we utilize the sporting activities to market the country very easily. If you have over 850 million viewers worldwide, yes, and you play videos about Kenya, you have banners about Kenya through the Kenya Tourism Board or the Magical Kenya, you will have over 850 million people watching, whom you have not even paid for them to watch, by the way. They are just watching, yes, all right? Yeah. And when they are watching, they will realize that we have Lake Naivasha, we have flamingos, we have Lake Baringo, we have Turkana as the origin of human kind. Yes. We have Chalabi Desert, we have our beaches along the coast. And by the way, we are also we are telling the world, apart from the coastal region being a beach destination.
Yes.
Lake Victoria.
Yes.
Right from Migori, Homa Bay, Kisumu, Siaya, and part of Budalangi is a very ripe destination for water sports, for beach activities, and even that particular transformation. So we leverage on those occasions to market the country. We also do brand visibility. You see, if you look at I've not brought that. If you look at the banners of the World Rally Championships, and you look at some of the T-shirts and so on, you'll find that Magical Kenya is also there. So that's collaboration, right?
Yeah.
The events is being done by the Ministry of Sports, but the Ministry of Tourism comes in to leverage on that particular one to be able to ensure. And you can see we are also coming in to even showcase what we do. Like now when they go for farm trips, those excursions, they're able to know that Kenya is a very rich country in terms of coffee, in terms of tea, in terms of flowers, and therefore it's a key destination, not just for safari, but people can come and see how we grow our tea, how we process our tea. Our tea is the best quality, our coffee is the best quality, our flowers are the best. But above all, through that sports still, we're able to showcase the beautiful culture of our country. By the way, all the communities in Kenya, if you see the Kikuyus dancing, you see the Maasai dancing, you see the Luos, you see the Kisis, you see the Akamba, you see the Somali, each one of them has got something very special, very unique. And the sports gives us an opportunity to also showcase that rich culture, which by extension will attract people to be able to come to our country in large numbers. And by the way, sometimes it's good to prophesy. I mean, I'm not a prophet, but, but I think it's good to prophesy.
Please do.
Yeah?
Yes.
Right now we have 2.4 million tourists, and we are putting, by end of last year we had received 2.4 international tourists. But this country is capable of having over 10 million tourists every year. And it's possible to be able to do that because once you have the infrastructure, you have the products, and you market the products, and you do a one government approach so that every sector, if it is immigration, which are now doing an excellent job to try and address transport, whether it is whichever they're able to do. Like right now, our Ministry of Diaspora is engaging the diaspora to come to Kenya as tourists and also to bring tourists. The East African community is also doing a good job. You heard the other day we just launched a brand to see how we can market the region as one and so on. And therefore I think it is possible and it can be done.
So the idea behind using sports is the ripple effect it creates, which now touches on other sectors.
Yes, it's the ripple effect that it creates because first of all, you get the brand visibility where you use it to market, all right? It also gives you an opportunity even to investment, business, and therefore it will have a ripple effect on all the other sectors. But it gives us that opportunity to really market the country, to brand, to market, to brand, and to showcase, and to be able to tell the world what we have. But it also attracts. You know, when you're a sporting destination, many people will come. They might even want just to see where our athletes train. They might want to see our training camps, and you can see what the government is doing really in improving sports infrastructure. The Talanda Stadium and many other stadiums that are coming up. You know, there are many stadiums that have been constructed through the guidance of His Excellency the President. Look at the the national days that are being hosted in every county. Look at how those stadiums are being transformed in preparation for the hosting of those events. And once you have a stadium, it doesn't matter how big. There are those that are of international status, but there are those that can still give our youth an opportunity to go and use that facility to practice, to train, and to be able to really interact together. So when you have a country that is well known for sports, that alone is an attraction. I mean, there are many people who will just come and say they want to see this country. which is able to host this kind of sporting activity. So it gives that particular confidence and impetus for people to always want, to come to the country.
Indeed.
Yes.
Let's talk synergies now. And has the Ministry of Sports now developed an interministerial synergy to help in jump-starting tourism economy, and especially now that Kenya is hosting WRC?
Yes, that inter-ministerial connection is there, because I told you that we are in the planning committee of any sporting activity in the country.
Yes.
We also get an opportunity to bring our brand materials, our communication information that we have, and therefore we because of that particular interaction and working together, you'll find that the Minister for Tourism and Wildlife and the one for Sports will always work together and consult. And that's why we actually do almost everything together. Even the other day we introduced the Magical Kenya Trail Series, where we are partnering with the Ministry of Sports to ensure that, we do a lot of series to trails, to our mountains and other landscape features that are very, very attractive. So we are actually working together in everything. And in fact, we are even very soon going to establish a larger kind of interministerial coordinating team that touches on almost all the state departments that are very much relevant in the promotion of tourism. So that working together has been created, it is there. And that's why even as we do every sporting activity that we are doing, you will always find the presence of the tourism because of that synergy that has been created. So we are not working in silos. We are actually working together to be able to ensure that even as we promote sports, we use the same to promote our country.
Yes.
Yes.
What about local tourism?
Well, local tourism is really, first of all, we are really working, like the Kenya Tourism Board has launched Tompoi Kenya campaign to be able to really inform the Kenyans that they can also be able to visit. And when you look at even the numbers, the bed nights, those people who have just moved across the country, over 6 million Kenyans are really visiting all our touristic attractions. And we are encouraging Kenyans to visit whatever we have. I mean, if you are in Homa Bay and you have never gone to Mombasa or any other places, you can be able to visit. And sporting activities also encouraged, because a lot of Kenyans travel. For example, if it is Naivasha, where we have the World Rally Championships, it's not just people from that region who are there. You'll find people all over the country coming there, which is also part and parcel of local tourism. And we are working very closely with the county governments to develop the touristic products and to be able to make sure that the ministers for tourism in the counties, engage together and work either to create policies, programs, and other things that can be able to, as they partner with the national government, to be able to promote local tourism. So that's a very important entity where we are also promoting, because tourism is both international, regional, and local. Yes.
WRC is a huge sporting event. Maybe what will be, or what has been the impact since now it came back to the tourism industry, and especially in the area that is now happening?
The impact is very big because, first of all, I indicated earlier that the economy, the impact it has in the economy, first of all, is very big, because when you have thousands of people, enthusiasts and the sports people themselves coming to the country, of course you impact on the economy. Secondly, is the infrastructure. You'll find that a lot of work is being done on the infrastructure to ensure that we are able to continue hosting such events. And that's why you see the Ministry of Sports doing a lot in the side of infrastructure to ensure that we continue to host these events. So that's a very big impact. The other third impact, of course, is on the hospitality sector. Our hotels are very happy, and of course, if you look at Naivasha, for example, where we have had a lot of these rally championships, you can see a lot of hotels upcoming. You can see the already established hotels being expanded and so on. So obviously, it has given an opportunity even to put up more hospitality facilities. I also indicated that it's a form of creation of employment for the young people, because every time we have those sporting events, we will be able to have an opportunity to create employment, be it permanent or casual or temporary. But I also want to add my voice that really the numbers we are talking about is sports also is a big contributor. Yeah, because the magical Kenya Open, for example, where we have been doing together, I remember that the last time we did it in Cliffy, the giraffes came and they were playing with the golfers there, and it went viral all over, and people would want to come back and see what's happening. So it actually contributes to the numbers, because I said earlier, the brand visibility. When people are watching sports worldwide, they are also watching what Kenya offers, what Kenya has, and obviously people will come back. I want to give you an example. Coca-Cola is a big brand, and they market. I know they keep on marketing, even though it's a very big brand, because people believe in seeing and hearing. So really, when you have the sporting activities like the World Rally Championships, and we, they speak about Kenya, they say what they have seen. When people see all out there what through the sports, they'll come. You'll find some even, you can see something just being marketed, and when you see it severally, you'll say, no, I think I want to go and see what is this. So these sporting activities will give us a very good opportunity. And the good thing about Kenya is that we don't lack what to showcase. Sometimes you can scratch your head wondering what what you are supposed to showcase. But for Kenya, honestly speaking, even if you are to even just try to visit the national parks and game reserves, you'll take a very long, many months to even cover them. Leave alone now when you want to visit all the forests, all the landscapes like the Rift Valley and so on. All the museums that we have in the country, all the heritage sites like Mombasa, Holy Town, Fort Jesus, and of course Kenyatta House, and currently Turkana, that area where all of us originated, Chalbi Desert. Even if you try just to visit even the heritage sites alone, some countries have only one, and they will show you that only two, and even if you stay there for 1 week, you have nothing else to see. Yeah. But even if you wanted to go for the agricultural sites and visit all over, you will take ages to finish even whatever you want to see. If you want to see ecotourism, you want to see our eco lodges, our beautiful hotels, and so on, you'll take ages to cover them. If you want to see the rich foods, gastronomy tourism, ukienda kwa Masai nyama choma, ukienda kwa Kisii ndizi huko unashangaa, ukienda kwa Kikuyu mokimo, uende kwa any other, you go to the Luo, the fish fiesta, and you go to any other community. So you will really, if you want to see our best hospitals, we under medical tourism and so on. If you want to see our sporting, whatever. So really what I'm saying is Kenya has more than what it can show. Actually, all we want to tell the world is that even if you want to come and stay here for a month, you will lack, that 1 month will go, you will not have seen even a quarter.
And you may meet Kipchoge.
And you may meet Kipchoge. And I'm very, very happy about the government, our beloved government. They have really continued to do a good job. Look at the introduction of, look at the airport, the travel experience, what is being done now through the Ministry of Transport, jointly together with the Ministry of Interior, Ministry of Tourism, to transform the travel experience in the at the airport, to look at the travel experience and logistics and so on. And the kind of support that the government is giving to ensure that the sector flourishes, and that we boost the confidence of the world, to be able to come to Kenya. And that's why we have been hosting so many big, huge conferences. The Africa Climate Summit, the Youth Connect Summit, and And also we have very high-ranking officials coming around.
Yeah.
They don't just come. They come because the government is really the one that is portraying that wonderful image of the country.
Yeah.
And then making the people to come. And the more they come,
yeah,
right? The more they come, the more the number of tourists, the more investment, the more employment, the more good things that we can have as a country.
How do you think, as we come to a close, how do you think sporting event like the WRC now has helped Kenya into penetrating regional markets?
Yes, that's a very good question. First of all, if you look at the World Rally Championship, the countries that are participating are quite many. And what happens normally, even during the preparation, even before you come to the competition, during the preparations, there is a lot of engagement. Business to business, one-to-one engagements, country to country. And they learn what each country offers and what it offers, what it gives, and so on. And normally after this kind of championship, you'll find that even other engagements now follow up after that. You'll find the Ministry of Investment, Trade and Industry and others coming in to see how they can leverage further. And then secondly, the fact that they come, to be able to engage together, it gives them an opportunity to be able to work together. And therefore it is obviously giving that opportunity to really work together as a region, to not just in sports, but even in business and many other aspects. Yes.
So you are going for the flagging off of the WRC.
Yes. You can see actually. I normally go with a real suit and so on.
Yes.
But you see today. Niko na magical Kenya.
Yes.
So I'm actually going to the launch.
Yes.
And even as the launch is being done,
yes,
we are also saying that Kenya is truly magical in whatever we need. We need to be proud of our country.
Yes.
There's something I keep on asking the media, and I don't know whether they are listening to me. I've kept on asking, but I've not heard any of them answer or even say something. I've kept on saying, if the media can just decide, all right? If they can just decide, because all the media people come from across the country, if they can just decide, without anybody telling them, to speak positively about this country, to market this country, to speak what this country has, and to put it on TikTok, put it on Facebook, put it on Twitter, put it on wherever, right? Do you know that you alone can bring thousands and thousands of visitors to this country? Just say the story. If you are in Naivasha, speak about the Lake Naivasha Resort, speak about the hotels there, speak about our beautiful flamingos and so on. Why don't you just take time? A part of pro bono, what do you call it? What do you call this? You just want to support.
Yes.
How many media houses do you have in Kenya?
There are many.
If they just made it part of their business, that every time, even without coming to console me or my minister, kwani amujui kila kitu iko Kenya? Si hata wewe unatoka wapi? You come from?
Kirinyaga.
Kirinyaga?
Yes.
Unataka kuniambia Kirinyaga hawana touristic attractions?
Iko.
Bas wewe sasa anza kuwa ambassador. Ya tourism. Piga kabisa, you talk and
yes. Thank you for making time. Thank you for making time to come on Good Morning Kenya and talk about how Kenya is leveraging these big events to boost tourism. That is PS for Tourism. That is Honorable John Olol Tua speaking to us here about the WRC Safari Rally that is happening in Kenya, in Naivasha, Nakuru County. This is where we end this conversation. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Mike. Good Morning Kenya and Entertainment Thursday continues with Vivian Ndegwa. Stay with us.
The FIFA World Cup 2026 Africa Qualifiers match schedule is up for match day 5. In Group F, the Gambia will host Harambee Stars on Thursday, the 20th of March from 10 p.m.
Shown, and which may show here. And yes, the breakthrough's there for Kenya.
Catch the action live from Alassane Ouattara Stadium in Abidjan, Ivory Coast, live and exclusive. KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
Heavens have answered me.
Ruth, I have the powers to lock you away and change your life completely.
You know, you really need to work on your cold threats. As in itishi hata kidogo.
I want confessions today. Otherwise, afuate njuguna.
Calm down. Why am I hearing my husband yell from the road? It was just a minor misunderstanding. Minor?
Ambia Millicent akiwa na haja sana na mimi. Anitafuta mwenyewe, she knows where to get me.
I am her representative.
I have not seen your assistant in a minute.
Ako na deni yako.
We meet again.
Again?
Such
mapenzi si tulishapendana, ananienzi na muenzi, alivyoumbika mashallah, katoto kenyota yani star, kanaleta mwangaza, sitaki kupoteza makita, wachani ringi ya dunia. Halo halo, nimekuja na tangazo, muoneni kwa macho, ameifunga milango ya roho yangu mama, kala wanna show you up, show you up, show you up, when I'm finished kumari, kala wanna show you up, show you up, when I'm finished. Extra pressure baby when you want that. Put my life on pause and follow you where you're going. And if I make you my business, I suffer no loss. Cause I'm in love and it's showing. No force, can't separate. Baby, no law, keep me away. I take you on tour. Pretty baby, I'll give you something to live for. My girl, extra pressure, baby, when you wind and fall. I put the boy, yeah. You're killing the boy, I put the boy. Baby, when you wind and go, I put yeah. You huyu mtoto amepotea. Kwa nini mtoto yako hata chai hawezi nunua? Kwa nini mama nichelewa tawaka na ribu pesa? Kwa nini mtoto yako hata mimi nikiwa less? Piga ngoza wiki za the best. Goes a week is the best. Said the other day I was in chat to thank the most I got for the gift of life. Yo, they want people charging me left and right, back and right. No matter, Aki no prosperity. No matter, wanadhani ni abnormality. No matter, yani kama vile vanity. No matter, yote ni reality.
Na unaishi wapi?
Kwa nyumba.
Area gani? Unaishi system gani?
Oh, unaona hii hapa kwa kona.
Wewe.
Lia makwa na mimi. Nani anaweza kuwa amelea ingine?
Kiumri wenda amelea tu.
Mimi ndiye amelea. Ulikuwa?
Niliweza kukula nusu.
Nini kafanyika?
Sasa kitoko mimi nikaanza kutupa nini? Mateke kama punda.
Bila uliona hiyo sumu, kuna pali iliende katoa iliwekwa na Gideon Ondiki nyuka kuota.
No, it cannot produce that.
Thank you, doctor. Can we meet after this?
Wewe umemaliza maswali?
Nikumwambia tu she's by
cup of tea unamwalika unamjua.
Hata kama ni ule mtu unasema uroge. Hana mali, hana bibi ataniachia. He's just like that. He's vacant. He doesn't have anything.
Heavens have answered me.
Ruth, I have the powers to lock you away and change your life completely.
You know you really need to work on your call threats. As in itishi hata kidogo.
I want confessions today. Otherwise, afuate Njuguna.
Calm down. Why am I hearing my husband yell from the road? It was just a minor misunderstanding. Minor?
Ambia Millicent akiwa na haja sana na mimi. Anitafuta mwenyewe, she knows where to get me.
I am her representative.
I have not seen your assistant in a minute.
Ako na deni yako.
We meet again.
Again?
Rabali, backwards chance, goal! Cote d'Ivoire are back in the game!
The FIFA World Cup 2026 Africa qualifiers match schedule is up for match day 5. In Group F, the Gambia will host Harambee Stars on Thursday, 20th of March from 10 p.m.
Shown, and which may show here. And yes, the breakthrough's there for Kenya.
Catch the action live from Alassane Ouattara Stadium in Abidjan, Ivory Coast, live and exclusive. KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
First interview right here on Entertainment Thursday. Good morning, Kenya. And I have the beautiful lady who's just from singing that song. She is right here in studio with us. Her name is Shiko, and she's here to just tell us more about her journey in the gospel music scene as a singer, songwriter, and also a performer. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm good.
It's a bit cold.
Yeah, but I love it.
You love
My
this
kind
weather.
of weather,
You
yeah.
prefer this kind of weather?
Yes.
With the rain as well?
Uh-huh.
Oh, really?
It's nice.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
well, it's good. I think it's better than the heat that we were experiencing a couple of weeks ago,
Yeah.
you know. So we're good. We're good with this weather.
KBC.
All right. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Pleasure to be here.
For those who are seeing you for the very first time, kindly introduce yourself to them.
My name is Shiko Gashengo. Born again Christian, mother of one, and I love Christ, and I love what I do, music, and just serving God. Yeah.
Where did your love for music begin?
Funnily, I come from a Christian background. My dad is a bishop, Stephen Gashengo, so I've watched it, I've grown into it. So it started when I was like probably 7 years. I didn't know what I was doing, but I knew I was doing something good.
Yeah.
So that's where I started from. So then I grew into it, and I only started recording just the other day. Yeah.
Just the other day is like a couple of
years
ago. Yeah.
Like 4 years now.
4 years now.
Yeah.
Like for you getting into this like officially and recording.
Yes.
Yeah.
For ministry now, Kabisa.
Yeah.
4 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What made you now decide, okay, now I'm getting into this. This is what I want to do. So this is the ministry now for me, and like this is my ministry now, and I'm going to go and record my first song. Like, what gave you that push eventually?
Okay, now first I've already told you I come from a Christian background where my father is a bishop. We are taught to like just spread the word whichever way you can. So for me, I probably cannot call myself like a preacher, but I know I can spread the word of God through music through ministry, which is now music. So that's what now I'm like, I can be singing and singing for myself, but I need to let the world know that there's a God. And there's nothing beautiful as pushing an agenda out there through music. It happens everywhere. So my agenda is to bring people to Christ. All of us to Christ. So the only way, the easy way and the most interesting way is through music that I love doing. Yeah.
Yeah. And since then, you've not looked back?
No.
Yeah.
And you know, the thing is, when you purely do it for ministry, then it doesn't tire you. So you'll just keep doing it and doing it, doing it. Yeah.
Because you're not really looking at, you know, what am I getting in return?
No.
Because for you now, it's purely ministry.
Yeah.
That's how this this journey is for you. It's purely ministry. From the time you got in, you knew, your mind was set that I'm in this for ministry. I'm in this to be able to just bring people to the kingdom.
Exactly.
And, yeah.
And then you're not gauging yourself through like the financial income. You're more gauging yourself by how you're spreading the word of God. What are you getting? Like, are people knowing that there's Christ? Or are you, like, you know, that whole spreading the word is the only way you can gauge yourself.
Yeah.
Not how much is coming to you, it's how much you're giving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how are you able to remain grounded, you know, in that thought and in that, you know, with what you decided from the get-go? How are you able to remain that grounded, looking at, you know, how the scene is, you know, whereby you also need to get your profit. You know, you go do this song, you know, like the one that we were just from watching. It doesn't cost 1 shilling or 2, you know, it's expensive. So how are you able to still remain grounded, whereby you're like, I don't want to lose my focus and, you know, look at it more business-wise and all that?
Supportive family, yeah. For me, it's more of my family is always asking me, when are you doing the next song? What's the budget? What do we need to do? So they make sure I never sit down to think about how much is it going to cost me or what am I going to get back. So just supportive family members, supportive friends, they kind of like keep me grounded. Like now I've just done this song. Before this song, the last time I'd done another one was 8 months ago. Something happened in between, but you see now, the minute I told them I want to do this song, they're like, you know, Shiko, you've been out of it for a bit. You need to get into it. What's up? What's going on? So you just tell them, I need like to sort my finances. They're like, what are you talking about? How much is it? You see, and then now it's done. So they make sure you never sit down and think about how much am I gonna get from it. It's okay if you get something from it, but it should not be the what that drives you. Because if that's what that drives you, then for sure in this industry you're going to lose the focus, especially the gospel side. You will lose focus. Then you'll become more of an entertaining person, not a ministry person, because ministry is expensive. Then you have to have like the goal for it.
Yeah. So for you, having a supportive circle of people around you has really done it for you.
Magic.
And then now you don't want nothing to do with the fame, you don't want nothing to do with the popularity?
Not really.
Yeah?
I normally say, let my music go before I. I would like to hear people saying that song, Ni Wewe, to them singing it, and they don't even have to know who's done it. Let my ministry or my word go, or my message go. Once it's gone, if I come after, I'm good with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your thought on that, Unique? Whereby, you know, it's not about the fame, it's not about me being known, you know, it's about my music going out there and reaching the people it was supposed to reach.
That's a good thing, by the way. The moment you focus on the goal that you want to preach to people, utaki kuonekana, but you just want the message that you have ifikie people of God. I think that's a good take. But most of people wanakujangana, they say like that's there's a reason why people do things. Kuna mwingine atangia kwa muziki anataka kumake do, kuna mwingine anataka fame, but kuna mwingine anataka tu word ifikie. So it's a good, just do it. Wacha ifikie, then God atafanya mambo yake, then utajulikana.
Do you feel like if we have more of such, you know, more of the gospel scene having artists who are all about the ministry, whereby it's not really about the money I'm getting, it's not really about how many people know about me, but it's about what I put there. Do you feel like if we have more of that, we'll get to another step?
Yeah, of course. Actually, kitambo, it was like that. Ukisikiza songs za kitambo zote, most people when walikuwa na artists, let me say ministers, wao kwa wanafanya because of fame, because of money. Most of by that time atakukuanga na any shows and anything. But they used to do it because they want to reach to people. That's the reason why their songs, even right now, they are still being bado ziko na impact.
Yeah. Is that the case exactly?
Yeah, and then think about this verse: seek the kingdom of God first, and everything else shall be added unto you. That's the one thing that we as most of us lack to understand that. That when I seek the kingdom of God first, I seek it first, everything else will be added unto me. When the year started, I told God, all I'm asking you is, whatever that is ahead of me that will derail me from serving you, put it aside. Because I didn't ask him for wealth, I didn't ask him for, because I know once I seek him, everything else will come. We don't lack, because then we are seeking him, and ministry creates for itself. I'm telling you, when God gives you something, a purpose, he will also provide for the purpose. And the goal will be accomplished. Yeah, he's not a God that will tell me, will put a song in me, and then the next minute I can't even afford to go to the studio to record it. He will put a song in me and he will provide for it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I love that. Let's speak about the song Niwewe. You know, it's the song that you came in with. It's the song that the DJ played just before we started this interview. Tell me about how that song came to be. It's a collaboration. Just take us from the beginning. Take us to the beginning, rather.
I had actually traveled. So while I was away, let me take you back. 2023, October, I lost my mom. I was pretty close with her. Like, she was my all. And then now she's gone. So it got to a point where I started asking myself, then what am I even doing? Like, why am I even serving God if he could take away the one thing that I love the most? I mean, I thought you said you will protect us and all that. And then now you've taken that away from me. And then I'm like, I remember I told you my dad is a bishop. So then now I'm like, God, you've even taken away a pillar, somebody's pillar, my dad's pillar. How is he meant to serve you while you're eliminating the one thing that supports him? So then all those things now start coming to my head every other second, every other minute. So I started like now deviating from the ministry because I'm like, why am I serving a God who hata hana remorse, anachukua tu ile kitu mimi napenda the most. So what business am I doing here? So I started moving away. And I remember sometime like 2 months ago, I traveled. So when I was away, I remember I was seated somewhere and I started now reminiscing or thinking back of the things that God has done for me. I didn't crash. Everybody thought I will crash when I lost my mom. Through all these other things, I thought I would crash. Then I didn't crash. He's held me through. He's provided. I'm good, my health-wise, everything. So then, wherever I was standing, I started singing that song. Sini wewe tu umenifanya jinsi nilivyo kwa neema yako. I started thinking about the grace of God. That neema, what it's doing to me today, that I'm standing here because of his grace. Umenisitiri naibuka mawoni la jicho lako, umenilinda nilijua tu unanidhamini na ila sikwa kiwango hiki. Yani I knew you loved me, but I did not know it is to this level. So that's how the song came. So the one I've collaborated with, that's my brother. Okay, I call him my brother because we've grown up together. So I just told him, look, dude, we've gone through this thing together. Let's do this song.
It's a really beautiful song, and we'll get to listen to it vizuri. But now you've done several other songs. You know, it's not like it's your first or second song. You've done several other songs, and I've realized you can do Swahili today, tomorrow you decide, but then Patia Newega, you know, Patia, you know, a Kikuyu one, and then you do an English one, you know, there's an English one, I really like it, On My Knees, you know, so just, how do you decide, this time I'm gonna do a Kikuyu song, this time I'm doing an English one, this time I'm gonna mix them up, just how do you decide on that?
So now, it's more of, you want to spread this gospel, as I said, and you want to reach as many people as you want, as you could, right? So I used to do mostly when I started with Kikuyu, because it was more of challenging. When it started, it was more of challenging myself. I couldn't speak it.
Oh.
No. Okay. So then I told myself, you know what? I love, you know, God puts a word in you, and then you say, I want to speak it in the tribe that I was, you know, that he gave me first. Zingine ni kujifundisha, nimejifundisha. Ile nilizaliwa nayo, that's the one I want to use. So then I started the Kikuyu. Na nikaimba tu wimbo za Kikuyu zimefuatana. Then it got to a point where we have churches all around, like the world. So then I'm like, I also need to let those people know of the God that I serve using a language that they would understand. Let me do a Swahili song. Let me do an English song. That's it. It's just trying to push your agenda as far as you can in all tribes that you could. If I could speak any other, I would. All
right. I'll allow my DJ to ask your question.
Okay.
I've been in the industry for quite some time, and I've realized that most artists now, those who are my friends, most of them, when we shift from to live recordings. Most artists, ministers wanafanya live recording. I don't know what is your take, because live recording me usikia ina slapping tofauti sana than the studio one. Understand? So what's your take on live recording? But I've seen also there's a song, the new song you did, imekwa live.
I think it's more of the energy in the live recording. It is me, it is what you see is what you get. So it's something that I'm also looking into pretty soon, but I wanted to first warm up to, knowing what it's all about, knowing, and it's also very costly. It's not one of the things, like the one song I did live, it was like my second or third song. That's the one I did a live recording. And then where?
It's more expensive. Oh.
Yes, it is. You're talking of things of half a name. Just if you want something, something good quality. Good quality. Because now you're bringing everybody there. You're bringing the audio producer, you're bringing the video producer, you're bringing the sound text. Yani you're bringing everything. Ni kama hapa sasa tuko hivyo. So now you can imagine all this there.
Yeah, it's expensive. Yeah. But then whatever comes out of that is pure magic. It's really, really nice.
Yeah.
So
and that's where the world is going into now.
Yeah.
Just live recording.
Yeah.
Very soon utaona tu studios zimeanza. Haziisha kabisa, hata haziisha. No, haziisha. Definitely haziisha, because hata sisi hatuwezi fanya live every other day. Unaenda no Eunice Njeri, yu kuja anapiga live ngoma kama 9 alafu anadisappear. Akidisappear zitacheza like a whole year. Every time she'll be releasing a song, you're thinking it's new. Kumbe she just did them like one recording.
It's actually playing as we speak. There's, talk to us about that.
Wastahili. Wastahili. That song.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's one of the songs that it's more of telling God there is none like you in this point and in this moment. Wewe ndio unastahili na kuna mfalme wa bingu mwenye enzi. It's more of like you're talking to God, you're just telling him that I've got no other. That song came when I started music. I think it's like my third song. So I stood there and I looked at every other thing around me and I'm like, you know what, God, I can never serve any other. I was never born this gospel-y and all that. I've done other things, but then you get to a point you are like, I'm not going to serve any other God out there. Wewe ndio unastahili, mfalme wa bingu mwenye enzi. Hakuna mwingine kama wewe. So that's just, it was just like a worship song to just tell God of his doings, of how grateful you are.
Yeah. It's a beautiful
But that's the song that I'm telling you, it
costed you
an argumented leg. It did a good one. That one almost made me slide out of ministry for a bit. Yeah, it wasn't a joke.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So for those who would love to get to keep up with you, get to follow you on different social media platforms, as well as get to now interact with your music, where do they find you and the music? That's your cover.
I mean, all Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube mostly. That's where my songs are. Shiko Gashengo. Yeah, everywhere, Shiko Gashengo. And then a fellowship at Harvesters Christian Church, Umoja too.
All right.
Yeah, alongside Bishop Gashengo.
All right. Who's your dad?
Who's my dad? Spiritual father, biological father.
Oh, must be really, really nice. You're a blessed one. All right, this is where we end this conversation. But of course, you'll have to sing for us. We'll get to listen to Niwewe. As you sing, here is your microphone. DJ Niwewe.
Another day, another crisis. Keyboard warrior still typing. Minilaba siku hizi spendi fighting. Na mahita hawawezi ntoa timing. Na hata wakinita guide, I know my baby will be by me. na wakiniseti kwa IG, dawa ya watiaji huwanga silence. Niko sherehe mina vibe, na nyimu nani analyze, huwa wonder why, me I'm just tryna catch a wine, we shughulika na your life. Niko sherehe mina vibe, na nyimu nani analyze, huwa wonder why, I'm just tryna catch a wine, we shughulika na your life, cheki zangu zime nice. Don't you disrespect my lover, my guy. Tonight I don't want no drama, my guy. Chaper dongingero anahero gasianda, leo ni party hadi mchana, my guy. Sherehe na viganga na kikosi, kwa mfuko pesa haikosi, mademu wananitanga kiongozi, vile mimi hutesanga Nairobi. Sele zimeripoti, chini tuko kwa magoti, akiwewe wewe usinirekodi, kesho nipate mmesha niposti. Niko sherehe mina vibe, na nyimu nani analyze, huwa wonder why, me I'm just tryna catch a wine, we shughulika na your life. Niko sherehe mina vibe, na nyimu nani analyze, ooh, wonder why, I'm just tryna catch a wine, we shughulika na your life, cheki zangu zime nice. Don't you disrespect my lover,
Chance goal! Cote d'Ivoire are back in the game!
The FIFA World Cup 2026 Africa qualifiers match schedule is up for match day 5. In Group F, the Gambia will host Harambee Stars on Thursday, the 20th of March from 10 p.m.
Shown, and which may show here. And yes, the breakthrough's there for Kenya.
Catch the action live from Alassane Ouattara Stadium in Abidjan, Ivory Coast, live and exclusive. KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
And we are back, yes. And right now it is all about poetry. Remember, tomorrow we get to celebrate World Poetry Day. And we've decided to bring the celebrations earlier, you know, by just speaking about poetry and getting to understand the evolution of poetry in this country. And what better way than to have poets in studio with us to speak about it. One of them is a veteran. He's been doing this for the longest and even has events that run every week, you know, poetry events that run every week. week at the Kenya National Theatre. That is Poetry After Lunch. His name is none other than Kenneth B. Kenneth B, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure to have you here.
Pleasure to have you too.
All right, and then we also have a poet who is also in this and has been doing this, and this is something that he loves. He goes by the name Kaki Poet. Kaki,
Asante.
Karibu sana.
Asante, asante.
You're doing well?
Yes, yes.
All right, it's a pleasure to have you here. Now, we are here to speak about poetry, just poetry in general, getting to understand what poetry is, you know, get to understand your individual journeys in this field of poetry, and just how far we've come as a country in that field. And maybe, if I may just begin with you, Kenneth.
Yeah.
If you were to describe poetry, what would you say poetry is, just in general?
I think the landscape has been so rugged because it started hard and it's still hard, but we are moving, the trajectory is fine. Because when we started, when I came to the scene, it was Slam Africa. That is how we came to connect, and then through that, we had Buddha Blaze give us the first events and pay us for the first events, and it was so inspiring. And then we still had to walk the journey and never give up because it was still too new. People were like, unaniongelesha nisikie nini? There is music. Why are you talking?
Yeah.
You need to sing on beat or something like that. But we insisted that there are some thoughts that are best spoken than sung. So we really had to figure out our way of being the major deal, not the minor deal. Like when there are events, it's not like, okay, you guys will interlude, we'll find a space for you somewhere. So of late we've become headliners. Like there are poetry gigs, there are poetry shows, there are headliners in events, and it's been quite a struggle. Yes, but then the major thing that came to be is that we transformed poetry, spoken word poetry, into a corporate vehicle that can drive serious agenda that other entities do need. Like we've worked with a lot of people just to make sure that poetry now pays. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Kaki, from your end, just how would you say, what would you say poetry is, and how has it been for you, you know, being in this journey?
Poetry, for me, it's like an avenue for expression. Like sometimes you want to express your way in a particular way that you cannot express yourself in another form of art.
Yeah.
Like for the journey for me, it has been, I thank Kenneth B. He's the one holding my hand. He discovered me when I was in university. So that's how I started poetry. Yes, and I've been consistent with the poetry for like the past 8 years. The journey with me is, I used to write a lot, but there was one friend who recommended me to go to Poetry After Lunch. He told me, by the way, your pieces are very nice. Have you ever tried performing? I told him no. And then he commended me for Poetry After Lunch. That's how I started my journey. But prior to that, I started in high school, where I used to write the shairi pieces, the malenga and such. So it began like that. I did not have a piece for solo verse in Kiswahili. So when I started, I gave it to my Kiswahili department. They approved the piece. Once they approved, I performed it in the music festival.
Ulikuwa wale wanaandika poetry yenye zinaenda kukua, you know, performed and all.
Yes, yes.
Nice.
So once it was approved, I went to zonals, district, but I lost in the provincials because of stiff competition. But I love the journey up to now.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So you started quite early.
Yes,
and
yes.
you discovered that I am actually good at this, because if already in high school you're there as a student but your pieces zinaenda kukua performed nje, it meant you really knew that this is what you knew, what you can do, you know, and you knew I want to do this from an early age.
Yes, I knew from an early age because even if I go back to primary, I used to do exams. When exams is 2 hours, I do exams with 15 minutes. The rest 1.5 hours, I'm writing pieces. I used to write. Yes, I used to write like that.
But exams pia unaiba ufanye poetry.
I did not have time. You know, the other time is for writing notes and everything. So I used to write that a lot. So people used to wonder, why are you always busy in exam?
Yeah.
So when I get free time, I go and perform those lyrics to people at that time.
That's funny.
Yes,
Because
yes.
like animated tazile mko kwa exam room and wewe hujui hata ni nini utaandika but mtu mwingine ako busy anakupea pressure kumbe hata anaandika tu poetry. You know anaandika poems zake. Yeah, you caught up. But anyway, that's a good story. Kenneth, clearly you've really nurtured so many poets in this country. I don't think there is a poet who's, you know, from a younger generation than you who won't fail to mention, you know, Poetry After Lunch somewhere or yourself. I think you've really nurtured so many of them. What gave you that zeal or that motivation to say, I want to bring up more poets in this country?
I think the acceptance of the inner self of me that came from those who listen to me. Because unless you look into yourself in the mirror, and that is the community, you'll never know yourself. So the community listened to me and they were like, you guys, you have something that really resonates well with our conscience. So when I realized that, and I held fast on it and decided to transform it into an art form that could really be shared, be many emulated, and we fought so hard to get a space where we could place our art for people to see. And it came to be Kenya Cultural Center, Kenya National Theatre. And we started very small, like 2-3 of us just sitting under the tree and sharing our thoughts. And then it grew out bigger and larger, and then it became Poetry After Lunch. And then as the circle continues, poets grew, others now went mainstream, others started their own gigs, and then it's a circle, it's a churning circle. We work with the young as we come up. So right now we are in a phase where we are working with another younger generation for us to bring them up. But the good thing is that for these guys to work and work with you well, there has to be food on table. Definitely, yes. And there I appreciate Hare Krishna so much for having worked with us over 10 years, supporting us with free lunch, and then the government also giving us the, absorbing the project and being part of the government, recognizing poetry, like coming up with programs like Poetry Theatre Development, courtesy of Poetry After Lunch. And this has given very many poets an opportunity to eat or put some coin, talanta hela, put some money in their pockets. And then I really engaged other partners like World Animal Protection to just help us, train us through co-creation activities, workshops, and help us understand how best we could use poetry to champion for animal welfare. And it worked out so well for us, and we've been in this journey. Right now we are tackling other projects which we really believe will involve many other poets to make sure that at least what we do solves a problem. Because art that solves a problem brings money in the pocket. And ile ya self-exaltation ni chewing gum, ni bubble gum. Ina lose its taste and then people throw it away. Hey, nani alitoa ngoma imeisha? Ama nini. But an art piece or an art performance that solves problem lasts forever. And that is where now we win. Because poetry solves problem. So courtesy of Lucy Wanjiku, World Animal Protection, Edith Kabisime, Tennyson Williams, we've really worked a space where we can now safeguard the freedoms of animals through art. And I think as we now go into our new project, which is using poetry to promote responsible tourism. And when I talk of responsible tourism, what attracts tourists most is animals. So we want to do something that in partnership with other agencies that can really help us engage many poets. Right now we are talking about 7 counties to train them, workshop them, so that we can develop content that will champion this in a broader base.
And I love that. I love that because earlier on, you know, right here on the show, we had a conversation with the PS for tourism, and we were actually speaking more or less about the same thing, using our creative side to sell our country. You know, there's sports happening, there's the rally happening, there's this happening. How do we use that to sell our country out there to the people? So I really love that. And since we cannot have poets here and not get to hear a piece or two, so let me begin with Kaki. At least Kaki, you can just pass the mic to Kaki. Yeah, Kaki can do something short for us as we continue with the conversation. His camera is number 1. Okay.
Okay.
I just...
Buddha. It's on. Buddha, ikamstoria love star keep it real. Submit after to define. Sublime nimekuwa kufanya from inside out, nimekuwa kufanya from outside in. Nimekuwa kutafuta solace kwa mania. Then kwa hii set hakuna mtu atanielewa. Japo hakuna mtu anajua vile nilelewa, na nikiona pombe nakataa kulewa. Kila usiku nashinda nikiliwaza, kuna wazo nashinda nikiwaza, ili natafuta ule ambaye atanitimiza. Mimi mchanga bado sijahimiza. Usikia jina Kaki nini nakuja kilini. Yule kijana mpole ambaye uko kivulini, hakuna haja kuogopa watu. Hakuna haja kuogopa watu japo niko na utu. Yule mzungumzia kubaliwa kwao, yunazungumzia alikopiga randa mbao, yunazungumzia ni Yesu tangu kuja maisha yangu ameonyesha upendo. Buddha. Sababu kesa mka maisha yako mbona unaishi na vitendo mresh, machaleo hata kupatia la vya kutosha, wako hapa kupotosha. Watu wa dunia wanafanya na wewe, je, kwani wewe na Yesu kulendaje? Niko hapa ndani ya Kakimenia, nimechangisha na vitu za dunia, babako nitanjoo na mimi nitamrudia. Ini mtu anapitia kitu similar. Buddha. Utachezi vitu na similar. Kaki.
Oh, very nice. This is how we do it. By the way, the whole idea behind snapping and not clapping, what's the whole idea behind
Maintain
it?
silence.
Maintain silence. Msipige makofi sana, mnaenda kusumbua
light zitapotea, mpige light stick.
And so the lines, also for the lines to sink in.
For the lines to sink in. So badala ya kuinterrupt na makofi mingi, you just snap your fingers and relax. Like it's so chilled. I love poetry. And you know, poets are really intelligent people. That's for sure.
That's why he finishes his exams in 15 minutes and spends 45 minutes writing poetry.
Exactly. Poets are really intelligent fellows. Now, back to you, Kaki, and just the piece that you've gotten to do. Just tell us a bit about it.
Okay. This piece is called Buddha. How I wrote it, it came in a unique way because I did not have a particular idea I was writing towards, but the lines came because I was trying to find some acceptance about myself, because I was trying to look for a journey I've come for poetry, and I was looking at a piece that can resonate to me and also can resonate to the general public and also the general Buddha, yani general machali wa kaida. So the thing I was finding kind of, it was coming from a relation point because he was talking about my journey, the struggles that I've had as an artist, the struggles I've had with mental health and things like those. So I was coming from a personal point and also showing that there's also solution. You can find solution in Christ. So Christ can give you solution to the problems that you're going through. So you see, kama I was saying, Buddha machezi dunia kwani wewe na Yesu kulendaje. So I'm giving an avenue that your problems that you have, Christ can offer solutions to your problems. Yes.
I love that. I love that for sure. Now, we'll get to listen to one of your pieces, Kenneth. It's actually one of your very newest ones. Welcome to Kenya, you know, where you were just speaking about our country and all of that. I'm sure we'll get to listen to that. Na leo umeniambia leo wewe haufanyi, you have your son here to do that.
That's why I literally passed the button.
The microphone.
The mic,
It's okay. Now, you know, how would you say poetry has changed over the years in the sense of how it is performed? You know, I don't know, you know, I'm not so into it that way, but I guess started out with writing or no, I don't know. Did it start with the writing, then the, you know, the poetry that we're used to, whereby it's like a poem, you just say it, you just say the words, it's spoken word, right? And then now it's evolving over the years, whereby we're seeing poets, you know, sitting down with someone playing a guitar for them, and then they, you know, like it keeps changing in a way, in a very subtle way. It's not like there's a big change, but get me into it.
All right. The systemic poetry that used to be there before Mashairi, or even the kupanga in lines, in bars, and all those classroom works got their freedom through spoken word poetry. People had to talk and share. And it's a revolutionary spirit. So when poetry walked out of classroom, it became spoken word, where you can just express yourself without limitation to these guidelines so much, but you could place a little bit of rhymes and styles just to keep people also entertained at the same time. You are passing information and giving direction. Because I tend to believe that it's breakthrough. Because the class was confining it so much. We had to do it in some particular way. It gave people, it gave the practitioners a freedom to talk more unlimited, not limited by the tracks, the musical tracks. Like personally, when I started doing poetry, my producers, formerly then, David, Audi, used to tell me, hey Ken, Mazeani, your pieces are too long, your music is too long. Like you see, a spoken word piece could take like 10 minutes, 15 minutes on stage when you're performing really any social commentary. You are talking to the community. So, and that is the gist of it. That is the good thing about it. Unatoa ya ndani yote naisha.
Inakutoka.
Inakutoka. So when it's limited, like it's 4 minutes, it's 3 minutes. It doesn't give the whole thing. It doesn't free your soul. It doesn't empty your nerves. But when you have the whole time to express yourself, you'll talk and then even get into trance and connect with the higher divine and even give people more. And then come back to earth and reconnect. So that is the special thing about spoken word poetry. It's not limited to classroom work. It's not limited to unnecessary workshops and teachings. It's not limited to rules and norms and some of these things. It's free. That's why I don't believe in so much putting it in a classroom or in a formal training things.
No.
Because it will become boring and regular. It will be the same. It will sound the same again. I want you to speak from where you sit and how you feel. I want her to speak from how I want Kaki to speak the things he goes through, not like, hey, it has to be this way, this way, this way. That is the freedom we fought for and we came out from.
Yep. Kaki, I want you to speak on almost the same thing, you know, just how it has changed, you know, from how you got to know poetry, where you started, you know, as this poet who writes pieces for his fellow students to go perform them. And I was among those people who were performing, by the way, you know, honorable adjudicators, teachers, you know, we did all of that. So just from there to now the poetry that you do, the kind of poetry that you are into, you know, whereby if I go to your YouTube channel, I can get to see. It's like music, yes, but not really, you know? So just speak to me about that.
About poetry, the way it evolved, for me, I used to love music a lot. I play guitar, so I tried to incorporate poetry with guitar. So it comes in a more subtle way because people are expecting me to sing. When I start with poems, so it gives them like a huge shock, but it comes in a way that it can relate with them because they love the rhythm of the guitar and also they love the poetry also. About the other pieces that I'm performing in, mostly on YouTube and also on TikTok, mostly for TikTok, I do most freestyle poetry. It comes on the moment, like freestyle. I do a piece freestyle because I want the person to get the raw deal, not to go back and I have to write fast. I have to pick a paper, I put it, and then I read it on the same place. So the thing is, give it the authenticity that you have as a self, as a person, because sometimes people want the real you, not the facade that is behind you over there. For example, like I'm freestyled. For example, I'm here with Vivian and Kenneth B, and I'm here in KBC, so I'm here so that I can see. You see, something like that. It's a freestyle, but I've done it right now. Yes, something like that.
So it's the impromptu ones.
Yes, impromptu ones.
Okay, your piece is ready. We'll get to listen to the Kenya.
Yes,
we'll get to listen to Welcome to Kenya. But even as the DJ does that, maybe you can just speak on nurturing young talents, you know, and the importance of that, just nurturing it from the very beginning. Because I can imagine if, you know, someone like Kaki started doing this maybe when he was like 7 years old. Can you imagine the growth that one would have? You know, just that importance of nurturing from the get-go when a parent or guardian sees that, okay, I think my child is talented in this or that, not necessarily poetry.
Yeah. We have a TIP, Talent Incubation Program at the Kenya Cultural Center, where we focus mainly on kids. So it gives me a lot of confidence in saying that a good parent should always look at his child or her child and appreciate the talent that is in him or in her.
Yeah.
And that is the first success any parent could give a kid, because we are moving into a future where it's talent, sports, and money. There is nothing much. So if that can be identified early enough and then be channeled towards the right direction, then that child will grow as a holistic person, ule anaweza follow the career and still do the art piece and run businesses and do things. Without that mentality, white collar business and period, and I want you to be a pilot and an administrator, lawyer, period. And then you find somebody running from law to back to the stage, which we appreciate sometimes, mostly, than running from the stage to the law office. So I think identifying a kid's talent when he or she is still young is the best gift a parent can give a kid.
Okay, let's get to listen to Welcome to Kenya, the piece, and then we get back to the conversation.
Let one and all arise, with hearts both strong, so strong, strong and true.
All right. Could all the patriots join me in welcoming the beautiful souls who are traveling to enjoy the splendors of this prayerful land? Welcome to Kenya, the home of the 8th wonder of the world. Joy awaits all those who are on their way coming to experience the winds of the Sub-Sahara, the landscapes of Savannah, the greatness of Masai Mara, popularly known as the cradle of mankind.
To Kenya you're welcome. Book your tickets. Welcome. Catch your flight. To Kenya you're welcome. Get on board. Welcome. Hit the road. To Kenya you're welcome. Book your tickets. Welcome. Catch your flight. To Kenya you're welcome. Get on board. Welcome. Hit the road.
If not by roads, then try our airways. Up there are so okay queues will never delay your entry into our great country. Welcome to Kisumu, where exciting boat rides will amaze your anxiety. Then after passing by Nakuru to see the flaming plumage shown by flamingos at the lake shore, kindly ask yourself why everyone else is talking about Mombasa. Being one of the best destinations for your vacation, the coast city is calling out for you to pick the next flight headed to the beaches where the white sands will definitely fulfill your wishes. Our SGR is also on standby, ready to take you through the scenic plains as the train meanders across the terrains that are not so hilly but balances the warm weather with the winds that are also not so chilly.
To Kenya you're welcome. Book your tickets. Welcome. Catch your flight. To Kenya.
All right, so that is Welcome to Kenya by Kenneth B. Exactly what the PS was talking about, you know, just selling our land that is Kenya. You know, so what prompted you to do this piece whereby you're showing what the wonders of Kenya, you know, when you come to Kenya, you know, what are some of the things that you can be able to enjoy, you know, as a tourist?
When I started, I told you that spoken word poetry has been given some good leverage into the national market and the international market by World Animal Protection Africa, who have really inspired us to love animals and work, put good poetry or good art there that can give animals more of their freedoms, enjoy more of their freedoms. So this piece was inspired by our love for animals. I realized that tourists come to see animals. But the best thing, the best philosophy, the best thing that people should do there, like it's always said, leave footprints and take memories. But you find that some organizations take animal, confine them to entertain guests, which is not right. So we want to promote responsible tourism through art. And that is why we did this, just to involve more poets there, because I've been doing the piloting, and we've found interest shown by very many organizations who really want to partner with us in this, so that we train more poets on how to develop lyrics that really go towards promoting responsible tourism that leads to promoting, again, animals' freedom. They are not misused by tour agencies to entertain the visitors that come to the country to enjoy at Serengeti, Nairobi National Park, wherever. The animals should be seen in their wild and be left in their wild. Leave your footprints, take only memories. Don't take their babies, don't take their tusks, don't take anything from the animals or even their skins or fur. Just leave them there, watch them, enjoy, leave them there. Do your bird watching, leave them there. Good attributes of tourism is what we promote. Yes.
All right. And I love that. Now, as we almost come to an end of this conversation, maybe to you, I've seen poets, collaborating. Yes. So, how do you go about collaborations in the poetry world?
That's a very good question. For now, I've never collaborated as a poet, but there are some poets who used to wanted to do some collabos, but it never materialized, because you say a person goes to a certain career or certain place. So when you try to plan something, there's some interest, but we still meet as poets, because the poetry after lunch, we're still families, we still meet them and still engage in ideas with them, because sometimes I can take an idea from Kenneth B, I can take an idea from another poet. So when you camouflage the whole of the ideas, it comes in a unique way and in a different way, because sometimes you can go and listen to a poet and ask him, how do you write? Because you find their pieces amazing. So you take part of the idea, their writing process and everything, and then you combine them together.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. As we finish, I want us to rate the industry, the poetry world in Kenya, on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being we are at our best, and 1 being, hey, we still have a long way to go. Where would you rate it? On a scale of 1 to, let's start with the sun.
Okay, definitely yes.
Kaki, on a scale of 1 to 10.
I can rate it at 7.5.
7.5 is good.
Yes.
Yeah, so we are doing okay.
Yes.
All right. The remaining, what should be done so that we get to the 10?
The remaining is have more spaces for shows.
Okay.
And also see poetry as a career. You can take poetry as a career, because trying to explain to somebody that you do poetry, they ask you, does it pay? Does it really pay? But you need to ask a person, is a career, the way you are doing anchoring as a career. You can tell a person that poetry is a career. So, yes.
All right. Scale of 1 to 10.
No. I break the scale. We are at 11 because we are ahead of times. What you're doing, what you did before, is what they are enjoying now. What you're doing now, they'll enjoy in future. You told me you were here with the PS talking about the same thing. What are we presenting now? A live dream of what they're thinking of. So we are so much ahead. It's only that now, when I come to the bracket of 1 to 10, we are now, the rest of the community, the poets are at 11, but the rest of the community...
Where are we now?
4. Because we still need a lot of energy, a lot of money poured in, resources poured in, a lot of acceptance, a lot of stages, and a lot of identity acceptance. That poetry is an art form that should be led to champion for proper, peaceful revolution that can bring positive changes.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you so much. And I am sure that, you know, for all the poets out there, you have felt represented, you know. It was only right for us to get to represent poets and get to talk about poetry, you know. So thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate that you took your time to come to the show today so that we can talk about this. Remember that the flag of WRC is happening today in Nairobi, and as KBC, we will be coming to you live with that. So just stay tuned, because we'll be bringing you that immediately it gets to start. We will take you through the flag off, and then as they head to Naivasha for the championships that will be happening over the weekend. Right now, Good Morning Kenya Entertainment Thursday gets to continue. Don't you go too far, as Unique the DJ will be playing for us some good music. So stay right here with us.
Nimesemwa sana jamani, hamchoki?
Nadhani hamyajali maumivu yangu moyoni, na wala hampendi kwangu yatoke mazuri. Hata nisowategemea leo imenigeuka, hata niliowaheshimu leo imnani hukumu. Kila mtu ana dhambi, msijihesabie haki. Kusemwa semwa sitaki, hakuna aliye msafi. Losema, lotenda nasahau, nasonga mbele mangapi, yamesemwa mangapi nimeona. Sema nasonga mbele mangapi, yamesemwa mangapi nimeona. Losema, lotenda nasahau, nasonga mbele mangapi, yamesemwa mangapi nimeona. Sema nasonga mbele mangapi, yamesemwa mangapi nimeona. Sijali maneno yenu, kwani kuna hata magazeti. Sijali visa vyenu, havifanani vya ukweli. Nipo tofu
ati liko club nimekaa bila tabu na jamana kati ya demo kwa sababu
I never heard a music so sweet. I repeat.
Wagwan, the brethren, big things are going. Remember, each and every Monday we have to shell down the place with nothing but the best of smooth reggae vibes in your favorite station. You know these things, man.
Alafu kila Tuesday, kata simu tupo side, giving you Kenyan music from the 254.
And of course, you can spice up your Wednesday by enjoying blazing hot hip-hop and R&B jams.
We don't got no label. She said she want bottles.
Vibes and vibes as we go all across Africa, Kenya, Nigeria, Ghana, all the way to Tanzania to give you nothing but the best on Afro Thursday. Make sure you make a date with us each and every single Friday with me, DJ_Liza Diva,
DJ Cold,
and me, Wanjiko. This is Club One Extra.
Unanifanya nisikie kunyongwa, Hadija ai, mani especially ukisonga.
Na unaishi wapi?
Kwa nyumba.
area gani? Unaishi sehemu gani?
Oh, inaona hii hapa kwa kona.
Wewe.
Lia makwa na mimi. Nani anaweza kuwa amelea ingine?
Kiumri wenda amelea tu.
Mimi ndiye amelea. Ulikuwa?
Niliweza kukula nusu.
Nini kafanyika?
Sasa kitoko mimi nikaanza kutupa nini? Mateke kama punda.
Bila uliona hiyo sumu, kuna pahali iliende katoa iliwekwa na gidi unondiki nyuka kuota.
No, it cannot produce that.
Thank you, doctor. Can we meet after this?
Wewe umemaliza maswali?
Nikumwambia tu she's by
cup of tea unamwalika unamjua.
Hata kama ni ule mtu unasema uroge. Hana mali, hana bibi ataniachia. He's just like that. He's vacant. He doesn't have anything.
Sababu inabamba, inashika, unatisa, inafikisha, ukiachilia mahewa, manze DJ unatubeba. Boom boom ba, boom 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 ba, boom boom ba, boom ba boom ba, boom boom ba, boom 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 ba, boom boom ba, boom ba boom ba. Kwenye dance floor, show us your what. Unanoki, hauchoki. Kwenye dance floor, hauchoki. Unahisi, hii muziki. Unahisi, nameless na mimi. Nameless. Eliza, in conjunction with Ogopa. Tumekuja kuhakikisha kwamba speakers zinasikika. Hey yo mister, are you a member? Hey yo sister, wacha kulenga. Can't you see that I'm talking to you? Sasa weka mikono juu. Na mafuta kibiriti nipate kuwachemsha, spikamili tupate kuwaamsha, ili na maiki tupate kuwachoma, kisha wapate kucheza hizo ngoma, kwa sababu kila mtu yajua kuna traki ambayo inagonga kama traki ya Ogopa. Bumba bumba bumba, basi weka mkono kwenye kiuno na usawanishe sawa na mdundo, peleka nyuma rudisha mbele, sote tupige makelele. Kama mimi mwenye kushika maiki na kuwapa Kiswahili shua, rhymes kitua, rhymes za pasua vifua, na safari hii ma MC na waombea dua, nikiwa hit kwa industry nikimanuva kama mvua na nyesha mahewa, nikileta wako wengi lakini sovya sambeta tumeshika maiki karibia, brother kamata, sister kata, kiuno kwa mdundo
mkono, tembea na micheza na mileo, warudi nyumbani bila kiuno. Wacha nikupe mfano, leo ni leo, wasemaye kesho ni muongo. Mazi nipe mkono, tembea na micheza na mileo, warudi nyumbani bila kiuno. Wacha nikupe mfano. Ni Ijumaa saa 2 ya usiku imefika, weekend imeingia, lazima nitashangilia. Tomo ukifika nyumbani pigia simu Roda na Rukia, Tamika Mona Lisa usisahau China pia. Kuja na pesa za kutosha kabla hujanipitia, jua Pirates Open na Mangiri simamia. Kiswahili na wakilisha, Mamazi na Fagen Kiroga Club Agondi from the front to the rear, bringing down the house no matter how strong the pillar. Kwa sababu leo ni leo, wasemaye kesho ni muongo. Mazi nipe mkono, tembea na micheza na mileo, warudi nyumbani bila kiuno. Wacha nikupe mfano, leo ni leo, wasemaye kesho ni muongo. Mazi nipe mkono, tembea na micheza na mileo, warudi nyumbani bila kiuno. Wacha nikupe
niko club nimekaa bila tabu na jamana kati ya demu wangu, kwa sababu napendanga masilva badala ya dhahabu. Ubaya mi wangana jam kama Arabu, lakini mi utoa stress na kalamu na spit kwa mic na inatoka tu vitamu. Hii basi ni story ya demu wangu, sitaki magazeti ziharibu game yangu. Nimekaa na kademu kangu kasuku.
Namroga tu na mastori zangu za Oh yes, I am sure you have noticed that we have gotten to pay tribute to the one and only legend that is Isa. Do you know it's been 22 years? 22 years since Isa passed on in an accident. But imagine 22 years later, we still get to enjoy his music. It's amazing, right? It's amazing. And there's an interview that Isa's brother did just the other day, on the exact day when we were commemorating 22 years of his passing. Yeah. I believe it was early this week, you know? Or
yeah, actually, it was early this week.
Yeah, early this week.
True.
Yeah, so there's an interview that he did, that is Habib was doing with Dr. Kingori, and he said that there's one thing that Isa had mentioned, you know, while they were just home a few days before he passed on, actually the day that he was passing on or something of the sort. And he said that for him, he really wants people to never get to forget him.
Yeah, true.
And it's actually come to pass, because
we'll never forget about
22 years, we always remember the day that he passed on, and 22 years later, people still get to listen to Isa's music. When you're playing TBTs, hautakosa kuweka Isa hapo ndani. Utakosa aje? Makosa utakuwa umebanned. So yeah, at least we've gotten to also pay our tributes to Isa as Entertainment Thursday right here on Good Morning Kenya. And on that note is where we say goodbye to you. This is the end of the show today. Remember, we do this each and every Thursday morning from 6:30 a.m. up till around 9:40 thereabout. But today we will be finishing early. Remember, I mentioned that we are having WRC, that is World Rally Championships, and they will be happening. The flag off is happening today right here in the capital, that is Nairobi, and as KBC Channel 1, we will be bringing that to you live. So stay tuned, stick to your screens. If you are a rally enthusiast, this is the place to be, as we will be bringing you that even when they go to Vasha, and when it happens over the weekend as well, we will be bringing that to you from here, right on KBC, not from here. They'll be at Naivasha, but yes, we'll be bringing that to you. My name is Vivian Dagwa. I have been alongside you, Nick the DJ, as well as Mike Megwe, and this is where we say goodbye. Adios.
Nimekaa bila tabu na jamana kati ya demu wangu, kwa sababu napendanga masilva badala ya dhahabu. Ubaya mi wangana jam kama Arabu, lakini mi utoa stress na kalamu na spit kwa mic na inatoka tu vitamu. Hii basi ni story ya demu wangu, sitaki magazeti ziharibu game yangu. Nimekaa na kademu kangu kasupu, na mroga tu na mastyle zangu za voodoo, na zilikuwa zina flow tu kama maji. Jamaa kakuja kumsalimia ni aje.
Sasa baby umepotea, imekuwa siku mingi hujatokea.
Saa hizo mina wish tu angepotea, akanisalimia.
chance, goal! Cote d'Ivoire are back in the game!
The FIFA World Cup 2026 Africa Qualifiers match schedule is up for match day 5. In Group F, the Gambia will host Harambee Stars on Thursday, 20th of March from 10 p.m.
Shown, and which may show here. And yes, the breakthrough's there for Kenya.
Catch the action live from Alassane Ouattara Stadium in Abidjan, Ivory Coast, live and exclusive. KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
Juu yake akizidisha juhudi katika ibada katika hii kumi hili la mwisho katika mwezi wa mtukufu wa Ramadhan. Ishhada nabii fauka ma kana yashtahidu fi ghayriha, alikuwa akizidisha juhudi ambazo alikuwa hazifanyi katika miezi mingine.
Moja katika faida ambazo Waislamu wanaweza pata katika kumi la mwisho la mwezi wa Ramadhan ni kupatikaniwa na usiku wa Lailatul.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim.
Na unaishi wapi?
Kwa nyumba.
Area gani? Unaishi sehemu gani?
Oh, inaona hii hapa kwa kona.
Wewe.
Alia makwa na mlili. Nani anaweza kuwa amelea ingine?
Kiumri wenda amelea tu.
Mimi ndiye amelea. Ulikuwa?
Niliweza kukula nusu.
Nini kafanyika?
Sasa kitoko mimi nikaanza kutupa nini? Mateke kama punda.
Bila uliona hiyo sumu, kuna pali iliende katoa iliwekwa na Gideon Ondigi mkakuota.
No, it cannot produce that.
Thank you, doctor. Can we meet after this?
Wewe umemaliza maswali?
Nikumwambia tusizibane.
Cup of tea unamwalika unamjua?
Hata kama ni ule mtu unasema uroge. Hana mali, hana bibi ataniachia. He's just like that. He's vacant. He doesn't have anything.
Aggressive stuff from Esa Pekalapi. Only one spare to start Sunday. A lighter car, faster car, EP chasing maximum Sunday points. That was 12. But already a puncture. EP reaching for that spare. Oitanic also committed to a speedy Sunday. Just a single spare for the next Hyundai. Same strategy, same goal. A sprint for as many points as possible. Stage 15 won by Elvin Evans. The new points rules this season meaning that he couldn't let Thierry Neuville be the fastest driver on Sunday for too long. And Ufomo saw the danger coming. He wasn't carrying the speed that Elvin was, had a little more time to spot the dangers in Hell's Gate, and was safely through. The Toyota 1-2 looked in good shape. But then Takamoto Katsuta has lots of experience of the threats and dangers of the Safari stages. That was the end of the loop for him. So Hell's Gate wasn't really living up to its name, but it was rotting up badly and shaping up to be a fearsome prospect for the power stage later. But for the time being, Kalarov and Pera was looking in good shape. Oitanek was faring better, hell-bent on becoming the fastest driver on Sunday. Aggressive stuff from the Estonian today. Thierry Neuville won the first stage of the day, but here he clattered a massive rock that had been right in the middle of a corner. It created a massive suspension failure at the rear of his I-20. But thankfully, there were only a couple more kilometres of the morning to go. Damage, but it looked as if it got away with it, at least till the end of the stage.
Thierry, suspension damage there on the rear right. What happened?
Did you see those stones? Stones like this. Impossible to avoid, and I don't know where they come from, but they were massive, 2 of them.
Can you get the car back?
We can get the car back, but I slow down just to get the car back.
Once again, the Hyundai mechanics come to the rescue for Thierry. They have to get him and his I-20 back out onto the final 3 stages, or the championship leader would leave Kenya with 0 points. A hammer blow to his title hopes. Thierry timed his departure from the Naivasha Service Park to perfection.